Hello, my name is Jakob Munck. I'm living here in Denmark, in Copenhagen, and now it's February 2016. And the 8th of November 2016, there'll be an election in America deciding who will be the next American president. And I will support Donald Trump. Well, I'm offended because I think I should have the right to vote in the American election. You know, Denmark is a client state of USA. All kind of politics in Denmark is decided in Washington, not in Copenhagen. Of course, our internal politics when it comes to small things like how we are running our own church, our own labor market, and so the Americans won't interfere in that. But when it comes to foreign policy, and that's what interests me, everything is decided in Washington, not in Copenhagen. So therefore I think I should have the right to vote when it comes to election of the American president. For the American president, he's going to decide what will happen in his client states too, and Denmark is such a client state. But I don't have the right to vote, so I can only vote this way, saying that I would support Donald Trump if I had the right to vote. And why would I support him? I would support him because he's the best president American have when it comes to foreign policy, because he will be able to negotiate with the presidents of Russia and China. And why I'm interested in this is because I don't like the spiral of war that is going on now. NATO is buying new weapons all the time, installing them in all their client states at the border of Russia. All the European client states, Poland, Estland, Letland, Litauen, and so forth. This is a very dangerous spiral because Russia is a very dangerous enemy. They have the most atomic weapons in the whole world, and they have a very, very effective military. Some American analysts said that if there comes to a war between NATO and Russia, Russia will win. But there is a great difference between Russia and NATO. NATO and America has surrounded Russia with military bases. So I understand Vladimir Putin that he's afraid. He don't like the situation. He wants to have negotiations to have less military, to use less money in the world for military and more for development help. That's why we need an American president being able to negotiate with Vladimir Putin instead of speaking the language of war like the very stupid, unqualified President Obama has been doing for several years. Well, there are some hot points, Syria and Ukraine. These points should be it should be possible to come to a conclusion if there were directly negotiations between the American and the Russian president. I think the Russians have the right on their side. Crimea is a Russian territory. It should be a part of Russia. Donbass, Novorossiya, well, it's an area in Ukraine where most people are Russians. They should have a kind of independence from the junta, the non-democratic elected junta in Kiev. I think that's just fair. I also think in Syria it should be the Syrian democratic elected President Assad that decides, not foreign invaders. And these terrorist groups called ISIS, ISIL, Al-Qaeda, Daesh, and so on and so forth. while they're operating in Syria. They are not Syrians. They come from other countries. They come from Libya, Saudi Arabia, and so on and so forth. They have no right to be in Syria. So I understand the Russians, they are supporting the legal government in Syria, and they should continue to do that. And this can escalate to a third world war. And I can assure you, it will not be possible for NATO or America to win a third world war. That will be impossible. Maybe Russia will be devastated, but America will end. It will be the end of the American civilization. So I hope the coming American president has so much brain in his head that he understands that it's necessary for him to negotiate and to be on friendly terms with the Russian president. That's the core of the development in the future. We have some people in Europe thinking, well, all I'm interested in is pollution. I want pollution to disappear. Well, I understand that. You have the support of the Russian president in that matter. But to get pollution to disappear, then you have to get militarism to disappear too, because militarism is the force behind pollution. And to get militarism to disappear, you have to go against the American military industrial complex. And there is only one president in the coming America that will be able to go against this very powerful complex. And this is Donald Trump, not the Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. She'll be a puppet. She'll be a puppet of this industrial complex. She'll be a puppet of Israel, just like Obama has been a puppet of Israel. We want an independent, rationally thinking America, and a strong America, not only militarily strong, but also politically strong. And only one candidate can create such an America. That is Donald Trump. Thank you for listening.